Water is life. There's alternatives to gas and oil. There is no alternative to water. None. Energy Transfer's Rover pipeline coming through with their 42-inch fracked gas pipeline that has no odorant, where it will drill under the wetlands, under the Hell Portage Creek, over into another wetland area. That is the feed to that chain of lakes I mentioned earlier: Portage Lake, Strawberry Lake, Gallagher, Whitewood, Zuki, and Strawberry.
Go 14 feet deep. They dig a trench 14 feet deep, and the next day it's filled up with water. So they have irrigation systems that they're trying to constantly pump the ground for the water and go place it around the corner where it can slowly settle back in. This is what they call infrastructure work, and they believe that this is what they need, that is right for the community, to help the communities around, even though none of this gas is even really for us. It's going up to the Vector pipeline and then over to Canada.
It also runs, so the pipeline runs just off in the distance. It crosses this road here. There's a little senior center down there about 500-600 feet in the blast zone from the pipeline that crosses that road.
It crosses all 3 roads that come in and out of the Silver Lake area. In case of an emergency, there's no way for any emergency vehicles to get in or out, nor any of the people.
If it blows here or right over there where we showed you, these people can't get out.
This was actually their alternative route that they decided to use without information to any of the locals. None of the residents knew until all of a sudden the trees were all being cut in their backyard. This pipeline comes within 100 feet of several houses. Many times it's literally going right through their front yard and through their driveway. They did use the eminent domain process to be able to take a lot of these lands away from the people. There was threats towards taking away their house if they argued. Many of the people that actually did end up agreeing to the eminent domain, not by choice, but also had to sign a gag order, so most of them are not able to actually talk to us. A lot of other local residents have been mentioning and pointing us out, hey, you know what, we think there's a problem here, so we come in, we check it out, and we're finding more and more problems. We can only see so much. And so in those small areas, if we're seeing this many problems, what are they not showing us?
Yeah, this is Loshi Lake Trail. This is all wetland area. You're allowed to be on this trail.
We're really only concentrated on really maybe a 3-mile stretch. Of that 3-mile stretch, we can only see 10% of it.
Yeah, I don't even want to imagine, like, this is us in our 5-mile block. What about the 711 other miles?
That's, 711, that's Ohio, West Virginia, Pennsylvania. These pieces of wood are called oil mats. They put them so that the construction equipment drives across them. You'll see them in a lot of the wetlands. It's these old ones that they've already used. They chip them up and then burn them.
It ends up that Rover's just sold the chips to the people who own the pit and lease it to another company.
One like this, you'd think they'd at least have the fire department out here. The reality, because this is all the wetlands here, this might be what they're doing to design it so that the water doesn't have an effect on it.
I've seen them do that instead of the irrigation.
They have to put a cap so that nobody gets inside of them. That is the water protector cap, to make sure that no water protectors crawl themselves into that pipeline. Now, there was a scenario on line 6B, which was Enbridge, that did the Kalamazoo spill, where a gentleman got on a skateboard and skateboarded into the pipe. It was an already used pipe.
Oh no.
So the fumes that were in it almost killed him.
I'm afraid we're going to have a leak that goes undetected, and an explosion or a massive water contamination of epic proportions. 3.25 billion cubic feet coming through my town. A day by a company that I've watched recklessly construct through my city. This is the lake life out here. This is what we do. This is what I was raised doing. You go out to the water, you go out to the beach, you ride your boat, you ice skate, you go fishing, you walk on the trails. It's just so beautiful. The trees, the grass. Michigan is so unique.
Honestly, I think that in Michigan, the whole state should be a nature preserve. But even beyond all the beauty that it has, the people here are actually very amazing. Is something it's hard to find in anywhere else.